Okay, we put video. Let me get this sorted out right. So today, today is 6th of January 2018. It's around 7:36 in the morning, and me and my wife, she's Thai, we're going for a walk. For those of you who do not know, my name is Machedo, and I just thought this morning I'll give you my thoughts about VAT, value-added tax in Dubai, UAE, and its impact on the working class people who are there. This was not scripted or anything. I just thought I'll just share my views. If you have not noticed, I'm in Thailand. I'm in Thailand, and I migrated here 1 year ago because I kind of knew what was happening in Dubai, UAE. I kind of gave a fair assessment. I kind of had a fair assessment about the impact of tax. It's like even though UAE kept saying it's only 5% tax, I kind of knew that things would change. And that is why I decided after 40 years of being in UAE that I would finally leave UAE, and it was the right time. So today I'll just give my thoughts. This is unscripted. This is nothing like I've planned what to say. I'm just going with the flow. So if it doesn't come out right, well, it doesn't come out right. If it comes out right, great. Anyway, these are my views about the value-added tax, the impact of value-added tax in Dubai. Hi, doggy. So, see, first thing what you need to understand is the purpose of most of the people to leave their countries and to come to the Middle East is to have a tax-free environment, to have security, to have a better quality of life, and yes, to save money. Others, it doesn't make any sense, if you're not saving any money, what's the point of coming to a Middle East country? As it is, it's not, it makes no sense if you go to a new country, you work hard, you live a luxurious life, but you're not saving anything. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is money. You want to have a good life. And the second most important thing is you want not only money, you are saving money. Now in Dubai, UAE, before the tax was introduced, it was affordable. I'm talking about almost 30 years. It was affordable, people could save money. I remember the days my mom and dad, they were literally saving, I think, 40 to 50% of their income. And then when you convert it to the local currency, it's much more higher in value. So my parents, even though they were not very smart, they were not highly educated, my mother was working as a receptionist, my father was also kind of working as a receptionist. They saved enough where they were able to buy I think almost 7 properties in India. 7 properties that comes to around millions. So you're talking of 30 years ago. It was a very different time and place in the Middle East. However, now what is happening is people come down to the Middle East and there is so much of demand, or there is this illusion that people come to the Middle East to make money. They think they can have a better life. Yes, when you compare in terms of salary, conversion rate, yes, Dubai is fairly better. You make money. But the part that people don't think about is, fine, you're making money, but you're also paying for all the amenities. Like, for example, the rents are higher, the cost of living is higher, medical expenses are higher. You also have to pay more money where sending your children to school, clothes are expensive. I'll give you a comparison between Thailand and Dubai so you can get an idea. And so even though you're earning higher, what are you finally saving end of the day is a big question. Now I'll give a comparison, okay? And let's say in Dubai, I was earning $10,000, and let's say over here in Thailand, I'm earning $1,000. Okay, $10,000 in Dubai, UAE, which is so-called tax-free, and $1,000 in Thailand. Okay, which is also taxed. Which is taxed, yeah. Now, let's say for example a shirt like this. Let's say just a shirt. A shirt over here would cost me, let's say if we take in dirhams, currency, it would cost me say 10 dirhams. A decent shirt like this in Dubai would cost me, let's say through a shopping mall, 80 bucks. Let's put it at 40, so I'm paying 4 times more. Food here, I can have food 3 to 4 dirhams, I can eat a nice meal. I think there in Dubai, at least you have to spend 12 dirhams. So it's again 4 times more. So as you keep calculating costs, rent, especially rent, I think rent is a major chunk. Here I'm paying 16,000 a year, 16,000 dirhams a year for a villa. Okay, a private villa, 16,000 dirhams. There in Dubai, I think I'd pay around 200,000 dirhams. So that's not even 10 times more. Let's say 100,000, 160,000, say 10 times more. So what happens is, if you look at the high salary in Dubai, UAE, and the cost of living, when you deduct all these other expenses, it more or less comes to the same or even less. So you're living in Dubai to basically earn more money, spend more money, and live that expensive life. So you're just living to pay money. You're living month to month just to pay your expense. So the question is that worth it? And especially if you're talking of small expenses. See, here's the thing. They say VAT is only 5%. Okay, it's only 5%. But you're talking of 5% on each and everything. And that 5% adds on. It keeps adding on. Like they say, this is a very popular example that I use. If you, in the Chinese torture, what they say is, kill someone, give them, 10,000 small cuts, all over their body. The same thing is happening in Dubai. You keep paying small expenses, and end of the month you end up with nothing. And that's a big no-no, So how is it going to impact the working class people? Well, first and foremost is companies, because they don't want to pay excess tax, they would they would buy only what is required. Before, they would buy in bulk and keep it because they would get a good bargain and they would hope to sell it. So now they would only buy how much they require. Cash would be locked, expenses would shoot up, and due to this, instead of having, let's say, 4 to 5 employees, they'll reduce it to 1 to 2. And those 1 to 2 people, they would pay them maybe 10% or 20% extra and tell them do the job of 4 or 5 people. So there'll be a reduction in staff. So obviously some of you will lose your jobs. That's the first most important, or rather impactful thing, losing your jobs. Hey doggy, see this dog, I like this dog. Doggy. Oh, you're so excited. Excited dog. Choo choo. He's very excited. I like this dog very much. Nice doggo. You're such a nice doggo. He's always excited. So the first thing what companies will do is they'll start terminating people in order to keep their expenses low, because salary is always a fixed expense, and you need to save money. So first thing is people will start losing their jobs. Now when people start losing their jobs, let's say for example you didn't lose your job, other guys have lost their jobs, there'll be an excess amount of people in the market who are looking out for jobs. So when you have more people looking in the market for jobs, there's an oversupply. When you have an oversupply, companies will have bargaining power, because now people are desperate, they're looking out for jobs, and companies, they are in the position of power. That's number one. So your bargaining capacity will reduce. Second is you will face more competition to keep your job, because now there are more people desperately looking out for jobs. People have to work harder to earn the same amount of income. Targets will be increased, so you will be working harder. And I think the biggest challenge in all this is you'll be basically living your life just to pay your bills. It's crazy. I mean, think about it. Each and every day you literally go to office, get up in the morning, you have to go to office on time, you have to show up on time, you have to look all cheerful and happy and chirpy, sit on the desk, computer desk, slog it out. And once you're there, you begin your day. Your boss will give you instructions what is to be done. Start your day, go out in the market. There is traffic like crazy. Everybody is running off to work, left, right and center. And it's like before you know it, the whole day is over. So you have spent your whole day just running around trying to beg a customer or somebody to help you achieve your targets. Maybe we go this way. There's too many cars. So it's like you do this day in and out, 6 days a week, where you're doing nothing but just working hard. And you do this 6 days a week, and finally one day you get to spend time with your family. One day. And that one day you're going for shopping, you're cleaning up the house, checking up all the other requirements. So what do you do end of the month? You get your salary, you will kind of evaluate how much did you earn, you'll pay your expense, and then you're left with a small sum with which you have to manage your expenses. Now you'll do this every single day of your life, every single month, every single year. You started off at the age of say 20, you moved to 30, you went to 40, expenses are going up and up and up, and finally it comes down to your age is 50 or 60. Now when you come to that age, obviously your salary is not going to increase in the same way as expenses have increased. Now you'll be working in an environment of where the law of diminishing returns operates. So even if you earn more, you'll be spending more. So initially when you came in a studio apartment, you moved to a single bedroom, then you went to a 2-bedroom, you had a small car, then you bought a more expensive car, then you bought a much more expensive car, then you spent money on clothes, you started spending money on your kids, your children, you had children, so now you start spending more money for your kids, and it goes to even more money. So everything is going up. It's like your salary is going to a certain level, but your expenses are going much more. And one fine day you realize now, if you resign from your company, you cannot get a job anywhere, because nobody wants a person who's 50 and above. And obviously after 50, nobody wants to employ you. But now you cannot leave Dubai because your children have to, you don't want to break their education in between, and where will they go, what will they do? So you're basically stuck. And one fine day they'll tell you, thank you very much, now you're of no use to us because we can get 4 or 5 people in your salary. So it's better to have 4 or 5 people instead of 1 or 2. So one person's salary you can get 4 to 5 people, so that's more profitable. So they'll tell you, it's better look for a job, or thank you very much, they'll give you a certificate of appreciation for your services rendered, and they'll say goodbye. So now after you lost your job, after being in Dubai for 20 or 30 years, you come back to your own country. Nobody knows you, nobody wants you, and you have to fill in the blanks as to what will you do next. So now when you go to a new country for the first time, or you're going back to your own country after a very long time, you have to start from scratch. So at least 2 to 3 years you'll be doing nothing but spending 2 to 3 years of your life, because you're now in a new country. You don't know what to do, you know. You can't earn any money, so you'll be spending 2 to 3 years income just to survive. If you're lucky, your children will work and take care of you. If they are not able to take care of themselves, then it's a struggle. So everyone's struggling, and you'll continue living like this for the rest of your life, and that's it. So how does VAT impact all this? Well, now the degradation of your income is faster. You have lesser savings, which at least before it would help you for at least 5 years without a job. Now you can reduce it to 2 years. You'll be working harder just to pay your expenses, and it's a big question. I mean, what is the reason for you to leave your own home country and go to another place where all you're doing is paying your bills? What's the point? Just calculate. I mean, just take your monthly expense, calculate, compare it to last year, and check it out this year. You will literally find that you're hemorrhaging cash, and you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it seriously worth it? Living this life in the Middle East where all you're doing is paying your bills. This is what you subscribe for. Now, I know there are some people who don't mind. Fine, I'm getting a better salary then I get back home, so I might as well be here. Fine, but think about what is next, man. I mean, think about what is next. Where are you headed? You know, people keep avoiding the tough questions, because if you ask, okay, what will happen when you get old? What will happen when you lose your job? What will happen? People say, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll think about it when it happens. Yeah, and that's called a loser's attitude, because you keep acting like this. It will happen, and when it happens, then you don't have an answer because you avoided the question. It's like somebody who has a toothache, and every day the toothache is getting worse, and instead of addressing the issue, they say that when I can't bear it anymore, that time I'll get it removed. If you were to take preventive measures and deal with the toothache beforehand, you wouldn't have to worry about it. So, these are my thoughts. And so what is the solution with VAT? I think for each person it's different. Each one of you has to make an individual choice or what is the best thing to do. But if you were to ask me, I think the first and most important thing to do is take action. If you don't take action, inaction is the biggest curse. So you need to take action. You need to do something about it. I would say get a professional who can guide you. Not saying me, anybody. Get a professional who can guide you, who can give you intelligent assessment of your skills, of what you're passionate about, what you can do, what you cannot do. Ask a person to evaluate you, build your brand, and I'm not saying like be a freelancer or digital nomad. No. For each one, the solution is different. Some people can work like me, be a freelancer, travel anywhere in the world and start your life from scratch, while most others are meant to just be employees and work for other people. However, the answer is not to stay in a country where you don't get citizenship. You're paying tax, but you can't get a citizenship. It doesn't make sense. I wouldn't want to stay in a country where I pay high amount of tax, but there is no future. It doesn't make sense. I know you can have the same argument for Thailand. The only plus point here in Thailand over here is the expenses are low. That's number one, very, very low. The second thing is I can get a visa because I'm married to a Thai national, so that helps. And being in Thailand, which is a really affordable country, I'm earning in US dollars because my client base is not here in Thailand. My client base is in US, UK, and people in Dubai. So I took this move before value-added tax came into effect, because I knew that if I'd move now, at least I'd save the money. If I'd moved later, I'd keep bleeding money, and then I would never be able to make the change. And so I made the change before VAT came into existence. But now you'd notice that as VAT kind of settles down for people and businesses, they'll find it exceptionally hard to manage life, manage their day-to-day expenses, and it'll take at least 1 to 2 years for you to really understand the impact. And by the time you have understood the impact, I think you'd really wish you had taken action. So these are my thoughts early in the morning after I wake up about that. I would say don't leave it to inaction. Be decisive. Take a step. Take a step before it's too late, man. I mean, you just have one life, and what are you doing, you know? Have you chosen to live your life just to earn and pay your expenses, just repeat this terrible lifestyle, which really doesn't make sense? And even if that is your life, where you just have to earn money and spend, okay, you're happy with this life, at least be in a place that offers you citizenship, that gives you a future where your children and you can stay together and you'll not be thrown on the streets. And you end of the day, being in the Middle East, UAE, you're a second-class citizen. You're not given any privileges, no rights, and you can't do anything to, especially a company or a local or anyone, if you're treated unjustly. So think about it. I don't know, maybe you're happy with your life. If you're happy, go ahead. And like most of the ignorant people, what they tend to do is, oh, I'm not happy with my life. Okay, what I'll do is, okay, I'll look out for another job. A person in the dark who's blind is just going and feeling his way. So it's like you throw enough and more shit on the wall, you'll hope something sticks, and you feel that'll help you change your life forever. It's okay. That's what you want to do, go ahead. Once you keep doing this day in and out, every single day, and you find there's no progress, come inside. Once you find there's no progress, eventually you'll get frustrated. And what most of the people do is, after they're frustrated, they would just get busy doing something else. They would start doing exercise or go for a walk, or just foolishly invest in a business and lose all their money. Huh? What? No. Hang up. So my wife is just buying chicken. So yeah, the point I was trying to make is, the mistake that you do is open up a business and think, oh, I'm doing something. You lose all your money, man. Trust me, you lose all your money. And then you'll remember me. So for those of you trying to take charge of your life and you're opening up business or doing something by yourself, it's not going to help you, man. These are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I keep saying, and at the end people say, oh, Law, you're right. It's crazy, man. Take some action. Take preventive measures. It's like, for example, me, before I could, get into this value-added tax, I left Dubai. Before I'd be obese and have blood pressure and cholesterol and diabetes, I left. I got a surgery done. So you need to take preventive measures if you have to succeed. Anyway, Lloyd from Machedo.com, who's Lloyd Machedo and Think Personal Branding. Just let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that will impact you? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think not a good thing? Do you think I'm exaggerating, or do you think maybe I'm wrong? Love to hear from you. So this is me signing off for now. Take care.